Hey, Alabama, college football playoff hopes on the line going to Jordan-Hare at night. 7:30 Eastern, ABC, Auburn hosting Alabama. Alabama, a 5.5-point favorite. This has like very much so final battle scene vibe for me. Whenever you watch any given like dramatic movie that's got a war at the end of it, this kind of feels like that last scene for Kalen DeBoer and the boys. In the context of this season, you took your lumps early. You had the tough loss to Florida State. You lose a heartbreaker at home against Oklahoma, and it all comes down to the evil Auburn Tigers, if you're an Alabama fan, sticking with the script of this movie. And you got to get through them at your place in a spot that's been very weird to get back to the college football playoff, to put the Kalen DeBoer 9-3 talk to bed. Hopefully he's wearing the black hoodie. If he's not, different discussion. This is that moment for Alabama. If you want it, it's all in front of you, but you got to go through your rival to go get it done. For Auburn, it's the Iron Bowl, man. It's the Iron Bowl, and that is enough. Been a tough year for the folks on the Plains, man. Hugh Freeze gets fired. The Jackson Arnold experience hasn't really gone how you thought it would go in the preseason if you were betting on Auburn doing some good things. Hasn't really been the year you had hoped for or drawn up. But if you can beat Alabama and keep them out of the college football playoff, I don't know if vibes are tremendous the rest of the offseason for Auburn, but tell you what, they're salvaged for that weekend. Hey, it wasn't the year we wanted, but we kept Alabama out of the college football playoff and kept Kalen DeBoer out of the playoff for the second year in a row and setting them into, I don't want to say a tailspin, but there would be tailspin potential here for Alabama as a fan base at least. Just think about the way that they'd be talking on Bama Online's message board. What they'd be saying over there. I think it would be a world that you would like to create for your rival. Needless to say, with it being Rivalry Weekend. Disclaimer on the label for this game. Say what you want about how much better you think Alabama is talent-wise. Say whatever you want about Ty Simpson. Things get weird in this game. I cannot say it enough. Things get weird in this game. It's like whenever you get a hot sauce that says, warning, spicy. Warning, weird stuff happening in this game. Hear me very clearly. Kick 6. You got the Gravedigger. You got Brian Harsin almost beating Bryce Young. If there's not weird in the sport, and it's not defined by that sentence I just told you, I don't know what's weird. Alabama, you know how you turn down weird? You know how you kind of take the volume knob on that and crank it down a few notches? You just go for the throat from the jump. You avoid a weird conversation with a certain person. You knock them out. Don't have to have that conversation anymore. Alabama has been phenomenal all year long, pushing the football downfield. Ty Simpson, I call him the Tyborg because he's borderline robotic with how he's diagnosing defenses. He's had one game where you're like, a couple poor decisions there, Ty. But outside of that, from the Oklahoma game, he's been phenomenal. Ty Simpson should be licking his chops looking at this Auburn secondary. Number 99 in the sport when it comes to yards per pass allowed. Jeremy Bernard, Normatec boots all week, brother. Ice baths. Maybe a little contrast if you want to get the legs ready to roll. We're taking Auburn vertical from the freaking jump. Because what I just said, you want to avoid things getting weird, go up 17-0 in the first quarter. See how weird things get from there. See how much Auburn's home crowd is dialed in at that point in time. See how much Auburn as a roster, quite frankly, wants to go out and give a little extra. At that point, you're already making off-season plans. You're down 20-0 at the end of the first half. I digress. Now, for Auburn, as much as there is like I just said, potential for things to get out of hand early, you can do what Oklahoma did. You can rush the passer. Okay, Auburn, top 25 sack rate in college football. Okay, it's on the table. You can also stop the run. Top 5 in college football in yards per carry allowed. Your quarterback, whoever it is, fits the profile of what has beaten Kalen DeBoer since getting to Tuscaloosa. We said it in the early preview segment. Diego Pavia, Thomas Castellanos, Nico Iamaleava, John Mateer, Jackson Arnold, who's on your roster, by the way. All of those quarterbacks have beaten Kalen DeBoer. All of those quarterbacks, what do they have in common? Got some wiggle to them, can call a quarterback design run for them. They can make plays when the play breaks down. All of those kinds of quarterbacks have hurt Kalen DeBoer's defenses. I look at Ashton Daniels. I see that potential. Deuce Knight. Again, Jackson Arnold, you already know he can do it. That's on the table here. So if I'm Derek Nix, man, heavy eye candy kind of game here. Heavy eye candy kind of game. Quarterback run is heavy here. I want to control the game and keep Ty Simpson on the sideline as much as humanly possible. And then also, let's just be real about this. You got Cam Coleman. Use him. It sounds much more simple on this side of things than it is, I'm sure, actually drawing up a game plan to get number 8 at the football when everyone knows number 8 can hurt you. But, like, he has to have a say in this game. I think it's the Avengers. I'm not a big Marvel guy, full transparency, but there's a quote that I know and love and I think applies to this game. Hey, we have an army. We have a Cam Coleman. We have a Hulk. I know you got Bray Hubbard. I know you got Keelan Saab. I know you got Xavier Brown and Damani Jackson. You got a Dijon Hill's been awesome. You got a bunch of guys, right? But they have Cam Coleman. He can be the difference for you. He can win the contested catches. He can win the one-on-ones. Like, I find a way to demand attention in the box. If I'm Derek Nix with design quarterback run, might be 15 carries for Ashton Daniels here. Sign up for it. Lull him to sleep. Roll that safety down. And then when we have shots downfield to Cam Coleman, we take them. We capitalize on them. Things get weird. Folks in Jordan Hare get rowdy. Okay, now. Okay, that might be how this thing goes. Now, the hinge point to me in this game, not the dating app, though if y'all are on that, more power to you. The hinge point to me in this game, I can tell you who wins this game if you were to tell me how effective Bama's play action game is going to be. Because if Bama's effective in play action, here's what it means. Obviously, his big plays are happening. Like, that's the first part of this. Yes, Drew Bernard's probably scoring. Ryan Williams probably hitting his kick Patowski celebration in the end zone. Like, it's all good vibes if you're Alabama and you're hitting those plays downfield. But that would be set up by Daniel Hill having success on the ground. And Auburn saying, okay, actually, we do have to honor something in the run game here, Alabama. Okay, we do have to maybe be a little bit more violent and a little bit more aggressive and triggering on your run game because Daniel Hill's going for that magic number, I think, is 4 yards a carry. If that is happening now, and those plays downfield are happening, Alabama's scoring points, and also, again, more importantly, you're running the ball enough to chill Auburn's defense out. Like, if you're running the football, Alabama, Auburn's probably not getting after Ty Simpson, speeding him up and forcing him into bad plays. It's probably the most important point in this whole game. If it's ineffective, guess what? It means you weren't able to run the football to make them honor anything in the play action game. So by that nature, you're one-dimensional against a DJ Durkin defense. Never a good way to live. It also means that at that point, there's some potential for turnovers to go up, which, again, if we're talking about weird things happening, Ty Simpson turning the football over, I think by nature of what he's done this year, would be pretty weird. Only had one pick on his resume going into the Oklahoma game. And you're not running the football well enough for Alabama in that sense either to turn down the weirdness of this game. Like that, honestly, right in line with the play action point I'm making here. If Alabama can just run the football, maybe you don't cover, maybe you don't feel great about the game. It's kind of like whenever airport security loses your bag, but you still get to your destination. If you can't run the football, I don't know if I love your prospects of feeling great after this game. But if you can run the football, even if it's an ugly score, I think you find a way to get it done. Now, at the end of the day here, I just trust Alabama's character too much. Yes, it'll get weird. Yes, Auburn's got a lot of friskiness to them. Yes, there's a path for them to win this football game. But I've seen desperate Bama before. I saw them post Florida State for 8 weeks in a row. They're a wagon and a half. I do think that run game is starting to show itself a little bit more with what Daniel Hill is coming downhill. And I think Alabama bosses up, is mature enough, is businesslike enough to go handle this moment, handle this spot, handle that environment. I think Alabama wins. Well, I think Bama covers. I think it's still a one-score game. I'll take Bama 31. But Bama puts all the 9-3 talk to bed around Kalen DeBoer, punch their college football playoff ticket, and once they get into that field here too, all bets are off when it comes to what the Crimson Tide could be in the context of the season. Bama wins, Bama covers. Things get weird, but Alabama rises above to get it done in Jordan Hare.